Hey everybody, it's Zach Hall, your friendly neighborhood game master here. Changing it up a little bit. I have some space in my schedule. A new product from Matt Colville Productions, the production company from very popular D&D creator Matt Colville has just dropped. It's a new supplement around animal companions and a brand new class they're calling the Beastheart. I've checked out of 5th edition homebrew content, even third party content like this one. I have never seen it before, never heard about it until it popped up on my Twitter timeline today. So I bought it. We're going to take a quick look at some of the new rules and check out the class and maybe see what I think. Maybe it finally does what the Ranger has been trying to do for almost a decade and never really quite pulling off. So let's see how the Beastheart shapes up and if it's interesting enough to maybe get me playing a 5th edition game again. Let's check it out. All right, here we are with the incredible cover from MCDM's new supplement for 5th edition, Beastheart and Monstrous Companions. I mean, like I said in the intro, I used to be huge into reading a lot of third-party content for 5th edition, especially anything that expanded the rules, added new classes. There's some obvious incredible companies out there doing incredible work. Kobold Press, off the top of my head, is obviously one of those top-tier third-party publications, but Matt Colville, once known for only his Running the Game YouTube series, ended up creating his own publication company to produce content. Started with what was the first thing that they did? Was it the Kingdoms and Warfare? Anyway, like from a huge background of uh, old school Dungeons and Dragons, where earning gold was your XP, your entire campaign, quote unquote, was clearing rooms and dungeons and these big wargaming style stuff. Matt Colville is kind of what I would imagine like the bridge between the modern role-playing centric Dungeons and Dragons with the old school dungeon delving wargaming of old. And but their art for all of their products, especially their monthly zine, is incredible. It's so worth checking out. This cover is simply fantastic. I absolutely love it. I'm not going to go through the entire PDF because this is a incredible product that you should purchase. I will include a link, no referral or anything like that, but a link directly to this in the MCDM shop. It is available for $15. And you should absolutely, if this remotely interests you, if you still run 5th edition games and allow homebrew third-party content at your table, I have a feeling someone at your table, maybe it's you, would be interested in playing the Beastheart class. And I'm not going to expose everything out here to the world. You should absolutely purchase the PDF. I just simply kind of want to scroll through here and get a sense for a new rule set, which they're kind of advertising for running animal companions, and then take a quick look at some of the class features to see, how does it stack up just on first blush versus probably what most people will be comparing it to, the 5th edition hunter or the 5th edition ranger class that tries to have an animal companion, but absolutely falls off past 5th level, maybe a little later. But shout out Matt Colville, shout out lead designer James Intricasso. James has absolutely made himself a household name in the D&D designer world, and for very good reason. Shout out Scott Fitzgerald Gray, shout out Bashir Gauss, shout out Chris Hopper, Anna Coulter, and Lars Baki. They both work at MCDM as production folks. Cover illustration by Martin Sober. Wow, absolutely incredible. And then the rest of the illustrator folks, just absolutely fantastic. Shout out to everybody involved with this. Huge, huge win. Table of contents. So we have about 22-ish pages about companion creatures and some example companions. A basilisk, a bloodhawk, a dragon wormling, earth elemental, gelatinous cube companion. Absolutely wild. Owlbear companion. I think that hellhound. Yeah. Warg. Incredible. All right. I don't want to spoil a lot of the flavors and stuff. So, Beastheart and Monstrous Companions codifies the fantasy of adventuring alongside a wild companion, presents rules for companions, wild creatures that any character in the game can befriend. They aren't always easy to control, but having a basilisk bud is totally worth it. And then the Beastheart class builds on those rules, letting a character work in maximum harmony with a companion. So, Monstrous Companions available to any class with a new rule set sitting on top of the existing 5th edition rules. And then obviously the Beastheart leverages those and probably provides some added bonuses and stuff to make it worth your while. Companions are wild allies. They have each companion has unique traits and actions that make them a great ally. They can be difficult to control in the heat of battle, which might just bite the hand that feeds. So every companion has a player character caregiver who commands the creature. Caregiver player controls the companion most of the time, though the GM can step in to take control if the companion and caregiver are separated. Having more than one companion at a table can slow things down. For characters wishing to share a companion, the companion accepts a new caregiver at the end of a short or long rest. Because the companion's proficiency bonus and hit points depend on their caregiver's level, those statistics might fluctuate if the characters in a party are different levels, reflecting a more experienced caregiver is more adept at giving direction. Okay, cool. Combat companion shares a turn with their caregiver. That makes the most sense, I think. They can move and use their own reaction and bonus action independently, but they can only take the dash, disengage, or dodge actions unless their caregiver uses a bonus action to command the companion to take a different action, including any of the actions noted in the companion stat block. That makes sense. I mean, now having played Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I think I have grown to really not enjoy the bonus action movement economy of 5th edition. It seems incredibly clunky. But this would be easily translatable but understandable. So you are controlling two characters, essentially the caregiver and the companion, but the companion can really only run or impose disadvantage on people attacking it unless the caregiver goes out of their way to use their own bonus action. But I think trading a caregiver bonus action for a companion action is going to probably make sense in combat. In combat, I would say probably 4 out of 5 times. Obviously depending on the situation, but and I would imagine that the Beastheart is going to take advantage of that by not making you sacrifice many bonus actions. Like I would imagine that the Beastheart class is not going to have a lot of class features that rely on you using your bonus action for anything other than commanding your companion. And maybe even high level Beasthearts can use something smaller like a reaction or sacrifice some movement, or not have to sacrifice anything at all to command their companion to do something. If a caregiver dies or becomes separated, in cases where a caregiver or their companion are physically separated, GM might wish to take control. Okay, fine. Ferocity. So ferocities are dangerous creatures. Each companion's ferocity is a measure of their tenacity and fury, and how each of those things build in battle. Okay, so we're talking about maybe a new resource here. Ferocity. It's another thing to track, but you can't can't get mad at that. Like they're building a new subsystem to handle animal companions. Like you're going to do some bookkeeping. That's just kind of par for the course. As a companion's ferocity increases, they gain access to powerful new features, but they also become more difficult for a caregiver to control. If a companion isn't incapacitated at the start of their turn, their ferocity increases by 1d4 plus the number of hostile creatures within 5 feet that they can see or hear. For the purpose of building ferocity, a group of creatures that share a single stat block, such as a swarm of rats, count as one creature. That makes sense. Good call. I'm sure that didn't exist before playtesting, and then I'm sure the playtesters gave them that feedback. That's a great piece of design to like predict someone abusing this. Ferocity builds round after round. There is no maximum to the level of ferocity a companion can gain. Well, so then if a companion has 5 ferocity or more and it's not incapacitated, they run the risk of entering a rampage. Companion's caregiver can make a wisdom animal handling check. No action required to try and stop the companion from entering a rage. To make the check, caregiver must not be incapacitated. So the DC for the check is 5 plus the companion's ferocity. On a success, the companion acts normally. On a failure, or if the caregiver doesn't make the check, they enter rampage. During a rampage, they immediately move up to their speed towards the nearest creature and attack that creature with their signature attack, dealing extra damage equal to half their ferocity. Damn, that is rough. If at least one ally and one enemy are nearest and equidistant, the caregiver's player rolls any die on an odd number. Wow, they're even introducing, like, they're not going to give you the benefit of if an ally or enemy is equidistant, it'll choose the enemy. It's like, no, there is a chance it's going to attack the ally. If they can't reach to attack during their rampage, they use the dash action to get as far as they can towards the nearest, which would be surprising. I mean, ideally, the ferocity isn't that high. Well, I guess the ferocity doesn't go down. Well, let's see. Does it go down at all during a battle? Probably not. When a companion has entered a rampage, resolves their action, or ends their turn, their ferocity drops to 0, and they are no longer in a rampage. Interesting. So they immediately go down to 0. So it's a 1-turn thing that can really potentially screw you up. But I could also see some very intelligent and gamey, some gamesmanship here to maximize, like, if it's all planned out and ready to go, ferocity could actually come in huge help to do a huge burst of damage or close the distance without any repercussions in the ideal situations, especially because they don't have to attack necessarily to end the turn. And the only consequence is whatever happens on their turn, and then ferocity back down to 0, and they're no longer in a rampage. So could definitely, like, that can become part of the strategy of doing it. To prevent a companion from entering a rampage, you have 3 actions in a companion stat block that cost ferocity to use. To use one of the ferocity actions, you must have a caregiver with a character level equal to the ferocity actions level, and must spend the necessary amount of ferocity before they use the action. Oh, so the ferocity is almost like built up anger that they get out of their system by performing ferocity actions, and they unlock new ferocity actions that I would imagine do more and hurt more. So that's great. Very cool. A too easy target doesn't rile up a companion the way being threatened. GM makes the final determination as to what constitutes a hostile creature. That's fine. I still think it's a strategy. I think you can still absolutely build up ferocity and utilize rampage as a positive in a combat situation. But I respect the fact that they've got a sidebar in here about gaming the system with actually like non-dangerous enemies. So I get it. So when they die, they are dying and make dex saving throws just like characters do. Oh, so you can get armor. So, and for statistics, proficiency bonus. Other stats use a dice equal to a companion's proficiency bonus are expressed with PB in place of a number of die. So for example, if a companion has a +2 proficiency bonus, PBD6 means 2d6. Here's a new rule system I haven't seen before in D&D 5th edition that makes sense and lets proficiency bonus is probably the only thing to really tie it to in 5th edition that scales up as you grow but doesn't get astronomical. I think it tops out at what, +6? Like just on in the character sheet without any like magical effects or anything. Start at +2 and it only goes up every 3 or 4 levels. So very cool. I could see maybe the Beastheart, their proficiency bonus climbs higher. That would be an interesting and really unique class feature, that if their proficiency bonus climbed higher than the rest of 5th edition's core classes, easy way of showing how proficient they are, and probably doesn't break the game, but interesting. I like that. Really, really cool. Most creatures without character classes have their hit die determined by their size. Companions are special. Each uses a D8 for hit die regardless of size. So it's just a D8. Doesn't matter if you're talking about a like wormling or a gelatinous cube or a hellhound. It's just a D8. That's fine. Companion has an action that's designated as their signature attack. Signature attack is always a melee attack and typically their best natural attack. Companion uses their signature attack when they enter a rampage. Some of the features of the Beastheart class make reference to a companion's signature attack. Super cool. Companion shares a unique bond with their caregiver and can understand basic commands in one language that their caregiver can speak, chosen by the caregiver. Cool. Many companions are large enough to ride, especially by caregivers who are small. When a caregiver rides a companion into combat, not much actually changes. Caregiver and companion still act on the same turn. Under some circumstances, a companion might allow them to be ridden by a creature other than a caregiver. If a companion bearing a rider rampages, the rider counts as being within 5 feet of the companion for, rough. Love that though. I love the sidebar about maybe how to help balance encounters with companions. And I'm only going to take a look at one stat block to kind of get an idea of like what a stat block looks like. And then I'm going to skip to the Beastheart so that like we don't, I'm not blowing up the spot of any. I want you to buy the PDF. I can already tell this is awesome and well worth a try at your table. So armor class is 15 plus proficiency bonus PB. Really cool. I mean, aesthetically, I think plus PB, it's so new to 5th edition and it's kind of wonky. My eye doesn't like it, but from a design standpoint, I think that's awesome. Really, really great. Hit points 7 plus 7 times the caregiver's level, and then has a number of D8 hit dice equal. So wow, 7 plus 7 times the caregiver's level. So starts out at 14, and then they gain 7 hit points every time. Yeah, right? That tracks. Yeah, 7 hit points every caregiver level. Interesting way of saying it, but I get it. It's a shorthand to get you, and there are less characters, fewer characters. Saving throws, Constitution 2 plus proficiency bonus. Proficiency bonus equals a caregiver's bonus. I think it's smart to include this in the stat block just to call it out, even though it's in the rules. Like maybe you don't have the rules handy and you forget, or it's good in the stat block to not necessarily depend on other too much stuff that doesn't exist outside of the stat block. So defining PB as the proficiency bonus and that it is equal to the caregiver bonus is good design, good writing, I think. Bite is its signature attack, +3 bonus attack bonus plus your proficiency bonus. 5-foot reach, 1 target. It does 1d6 plus proficiency bonus piercing. Doesn't cost any ferocity. 2 ferocity, so you have to be level 2 to use it, and it consumes 2 of the companion's ferocity. Oh no. Okay, that was me doing some Pathfinder reading. So it's a first level action, so it unlocks at first level, but it does cost 2 ferocity. Poison spittle. You make a signature attack, and it does an extra proficiency bonus damage, and it's kind of splashes onto somebody else. Yeah, not a lot. Does scale, but again, this isn't like these rules are outside of the Beastheart, and then I imagine the Beastheart is going to come in and really ramp up all of this. I'm putting money on a faster than normal proficiency bonus increase for the Beastheart. Poison gaze, 3 creatures, 15-foot range, DC 10 plus proficiency bonus con save or become poisoned. Okay. Lesser petrifying gaze at 5th level. That's pretty dank. I get why they top out at like 5th level, and maybe that is because maybe the Beastheart has ferocity actions past 5th level. I keep having to remind myself that this isn't just for Beastheart classes, that anybody can use it, and tapping out at like essentially a 5th level action makes sense. Cool. All right, let's skip up to the Beastheart class and take a look at some of their class features. Oh man, look, so freaking cool. Great character art. Beastheart. Okay, so I would have lost the bet. I'm pretty sure this is the same proficiency bonus track that everybody has. Starts at +2, and on like the 5th level, or every 4 levels, you gain 1. Mystical bond, supernatural bond, bonds the Beastheart to harness their companion's fury, might, and instincts. When their companion is enraged, a Beastheart channels that ferocity into supernatural deeds of martial prowess. In addition, the wild companion can harness the Beastheart's focus and direction. Some Beasthearts bond with unorthodox pets or wild protectors as children, becoming ever closer as they grow up. Other Beasthearts come of age in the wilderness, raised among wild creatures, or even raised by them. Pretty cool. They are companions and not pets. Wild at heart, untamed pair. Yeah. Creating a Beastheart. Cool flavor. Really cool flavor. So quick build. It's dexterity focused, or strength if you want to use a melee weapon, but it seems like it maybe defaults to a Beastheart's probably like filling that ranger ranged combat role. But you could go strength, which is cool. Wisdom for those animal handling checks. Here's a sidebar about where to get inspiration on like characters in modern media that might inspire you for a Beastheart class. Multi-classing, be cool. So 1d8 hit dice, light armor, medium armor, shields, simple weapons, then battle axes, great axes, long bows, net, scimitar, short swords. Okay. No tool proficiency. Interesting. Not a problem. Just interesting. Saving throws of strength and wisdom. I think you have to do that strength saving throw. It probably makes the most sense, but it does kind of stink that if you were making a like dexterous, a dexterity focused and a dexterity and wisdom focus, I could see you potentially like dumping strength if you really wanted to. If maybe you're playing like a character that is more on the frail side, and their companion is the meat, the muscle. As a DM, I would probably flex that first saving throw to dexterity for a character if possible, but there's no what's the word I'm looking for? No other class has a flexible saving throw. Like, I'm sure Matt would prefer this first saving throw to match up to whichever primary stat you pick, but that doesn't exist. There isn't a way to write that in the 5th edition rules. So they pick strength over dexterity. But I would flex that into dexterity, and I don't think you'd be breaking anything. You'd almost for sure want anal handling as a skill. The fact that it doesn't just give that to you automatically is like, I mean, it's not dummy proof. You could not pick animal handling as a skill, though I guess if you picked a background that gave you animal handling, like, it gives you a little bit of extra flexibility, but just one of those quirks of 5th edition that I like, having been away from it for a year and a half, really. It's silly. Lots of weapons to pick from your equipment, and then at first level you gain a companion creature. You can choose any of the companions in this supplement or other, so they're opening themselves up to adding more companions and more supplements, which is great. And then they even plug their subreddit and Discord server for other cool companions. Man, I love that so much. And one of the benefits of a supplement, you're only doing digitally. Like, so cool. I love seeing companies that know, hey, we were born out of a online community, like supporting us and like lifting us up to the point where we could do things like put out this supplement without the need for something like a Kickstarter or something like that. So we're going to plug our community because they do really cool work. Love that. I think some other online creators out there could, what I'll say is MCDM has absolutely done a great job at creating the audience that does this really well, and you don't have to stress about the kind of thing that other people might run into for the first time on the MCDM subreddit or Discord. Very cool. So Beasthearts can essentially resurrect their companion after a minute of meditating on the spirit. Returns to life when dead, and you gain a level of exhaustion. Cool. The first time you finish a long rest after you gain a level in this class, and mainly for multi-classing. You can comprehend and verbally communicate with your companion, as well as all beasts and monstrosities. Doesn't let you communicate complex thoughts or questions, but you can make simple statements, such as showing them you mean no harm, or ask simple questions, such as the location of a nearest body of water, or a specific individual with a unique look. Super cool. Primal exploits. Channel your companion's fury into extraordinary deeds fueled by your companion's ferocity. You learn 3 primal exploits of your choice. You can learn additional as you level up. You can replace one with another whenever you level up. Some exploits are activated using a reaction. Others are under specific circumstances but require no action. Some exploits are activated as part of the attack action. You can only use one witch exploit per turn. All exploits require you to spend your companion's ferocity to use them. You must be within 60 feet of your companion to use it, and they must have ferocity at least equal to the exploit's cost. Very cool. So where ferocity for a non-beast heart is a thing that you're managing just so that your companion doesn't go into a what's called a frenzy. I forget what it's called now. But as a beast heart, you use your companion's ferocity to perform your own special actions, and it keeps them from going on said rampage. And I'm forgetting the term for it. It'll probably be on the next page. That's super cool. You can use an exploit even if your companion is unconscious, as long as they had the appropriate ferocity. You can't use an exploit while your companion is entered. Oh, I was right. It was a rampage. Sweet. Some exploits allow a companion to make a signature attack. It can't be modified with additional exploits. Cool. So you have a save DC. Here's a list of some primal exploits. You can activate this exploit whenever you take the attack action. Before or after you attack, the companion can make the help action as a bonus action. So help action would give you advantage on the attack, cost 3 ferocity. When your companion hits a creature with a signature attack, you can use your reaction to command the companion to yank the target down. They can fall, so you can fall prone, which would impose advantage on melee attacks on them. Drag them feral reflexes, so you can increase AC. Hurricane blow, no escape. At the start of your turn, when your companion gains ferocity and doesn't enter a rampage, you can spend up to your wisdom modifier in ferocity. Minimum 1, no action required. Until the start of your turn, your speed or your companion's speed increases by 5 feet. Ooh, that's super cool. Really, really cool. I like that mechanic a ton. All right, let's check out. Man, that's a lot of options. Oh my gosh, those are just the 2nd level primal exploits. That's so cool. Tons of options here. Crushing charge as an action, you move up to, well, it's because these are a 2nd. You don't get access to more until 10th level. That tracks. So it's at 2nd, 10th, and 7th. Okay. Not as many as I was thinking, but still a ton. A ton. All right, let's look at some of these 17th. Blood Sport, 16th ferocity. Wow, so you were really playing with... I didn't see any changes to the maximum for a rampage. So at 16 ferocity, you are having to be at the risk of your companion entering a rampage. But at this point, surely I'd even tried taking some feats where, like, to give yourself as many bonuses to an animal handling wisdom check as possible. Like, I don't know. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember any feats anymore of like something that gives you double proficiency bonus for that check, or act as if like take a 10 without rolling. So when you hit a large or smaller creature with a melee weapon attack, you can also push the target up to 30 feet away from you and knock them prone. If the target ends this move within 5 feet of your companion, the companion can make a signature attack, no action required. On a hit, it does its normal effects, and the target is pushed again up to 30 feet away from your companion. If the target ends this move within 5 feet of you, you can make a melee weapon attack, and against them, no action required. It does an extra 4d6. That's so fucking cool. That's so fucking cool. Boo, boo, boo. Oh my gosh. That is the most Matt Colville thing I've ever seen. incredible. So much fun. Oh my gosh. I love that. Okay, gonna keep going. Oh, that was just, yeah, I haven't even gotten to like the other stuff. Um, Whenever your companion makes a ferocity action that requires an ability to check a saving throw, companion can use your primal exploit save DC in place of the normal DC. So that's an 8 plus proficiency plus wisdom instead of just 5. Right? Yeah, that's great. Companion bond. Oh yeah, and then you get a freaking subclass. So ferocious bond, hunter bond, infernal bond, primordial bond, or a protector bond, and you get new features. Cool. Third level, you gain proficiency in the animal handling skill. If you already had proficiency, your proficiency level is doubled. There you go. You get it at third level. So much more difficult to get. Like, you'd really have to fuck up a roll to get a rampage. Especially since you probably should be using their ferocity for your own combat moves. ASIs 4, 8, 12, 16, 19. Cool. Beyond Instinct. So whenever your companion gains ferocity at the start of your turn, they gain an additional 1. Because you're not worried about it anymore, because you should be really, really, really good at keeping them from getting to a rampage, so you're getting some extra resource for your actions. They gain proficiency in saving throw of your ability of choice, and they get a skill proficiency, and they use wisdom in place of intelligence. Or like they can use a skill they're probably better in to make that so cool. 10th, your additional ferocity goes up to 3. 15th, additional 5. Wow. So wow. Very cool. Improved signature attack. Additional weapon damage at 5th level, 2 additional at 11, 3 at 17. That was one of the things I was wondering about, because when looking at just the stat block, like the signature weapon or the signature track is cool, but it didn't have any scaling built into it besides the proficiency bonus, which was slow, which was why I was thinking the Beastheart you might see a faster than normal proficiency bonus increase. Instead, it's just you're adding weapon die to the signature attack. Really cool. And here you go. At 6th level, you no longer need to use your bonus action to command your companion. Instead, as long as you're not capacitated, you can direct them to take an action with verbal or physical signs that require no action. Additionally, when your companion enters a rampage and you are not incapacitated and they can see or hear you, they do not automatically move toward and attack the nearest creature. You instead choose where their companion moves on your turn and which creature they attack. Oh, at 6th level, you don't give a shit about rampages anymore because you control their rampage. Like, they're gonna move and they're gonna attack, but odds are you wanted them to do that anyway, so now you have this option of getting a huge a absolute monster amount of like burst damage just by letting them get to a rampage. Really cool. Like, really taking 6th level, you're really taking the sting out of rampages, and it's now a thing you want to happen or is an option for you as opposed to something you're trying to fight against. 6th level, you can also use a bonus action to spend any amount of your companion's ferocity, regaining hit points equal to the ferocity spent. And then when you can use this feature number of time equal to your wisdom mod, regaining all uses when you finish a long rest. That's dope too. And that's you just at 5th level, or no, yeah, at 6th level, you no longer needed to use your bonus action to command your companion. It's just a free action, but now we're going to give you a new bonus action to interact with your companion that you might need to use, and it's to heal them. Very cool. Super, super cool. All right, so you get a natural talent If you gain a new benefit, depends on your companion. So if we look at the Basilisk, you can cover your skin in a flexible layer of stone that lasts for 10 minutes. You have resistance to BPS damage. Very cool. I won't look at all of them. Try to move faster now. Loyal to the end. Can't be charmed or frightened. Keen senses. Advantage on perception checks. Search action as a bonus. Summon the wilds. Ooh, you can call forth a horde of beasts. A swarm, really. That's really cool. Kind of like out of nowhere. Like, it's the first time besides like first level features that you are getting a general, hey, you interact with animals really well feature. But that's not really the point of the class. I think this is a really cool feature. And at 17th level, you just got access to your your highest level primal exploits. So that's the one you're really like looking forward to. This one is kind of filler, a little bit kind of outside the box, but still really cool. Like, and you would enjoy using it. Just a little like first time kind of seeing it. It's like, An unbreakable friendship. When you have at least one hit point, you automatically succeed on animal handling. Yeah. So like rampages, you can choose to not make the check if you wish to have them in a rampage on purpose, but you no longer have no control over whether there's a rampage or not. They don't get reduced to 0 hit points unless they get one shot. And they automatically start with 1d10 ferocity when you roll initiative. A d20 Beastheart is, or a 20th level Beastheart is lit. All right, so companion bonds. Ferocious bond is they feel closest when you abandon control and let instinct guide their move. So when your companion enters a rampage, you feel every moment of their brutality inspiring you. Oh, so ferocious bond, the caretaker gets bonuses whenever the companion enters a rampage. Really cool. At 7th level, your companion maintains their tenacity after going berserk. Their ferocity only drops to 4 instead of 0. Really cool. At 11th level, when they hit a signature attack during a rampage, they do extra damage equal to their. It does full damage equal to their ferocity instead of half. Liddy. That's so cool. Art's great. Okay. Hunter Bond. This will be the last subclass I look at. And then I'll wrap it up. You can check out the rest of the PDF. Link down below, $15, MCDM store. Love for the hunt. Silent stalkers working together. Use ranged. So this is mainly for ranged weapon caretakers to attack their prey from afar while their companion closes in for the kill. Whenever your companion gains ferocity at the start of the turn and doesn't enter a rampage, you can spend 4 ferocity to mark a creature. Becomes your quarry for a minute. Whenever you or your attendant. Oh, so it's kind of like a hunter's mark. A hunter's mark feature that isn't a spell. Shout out for this. I just realized this thing is not magical. Like, it's mystic, but it doesn't cast spells. And I just realized. Incredible. I love this. So great. Cool. That's really, really cool. So basically a type of hunter's mark-esque. It only does 1d6, but I mean, something. Survival skill proficiency, doubling your survival, and you can use survival to read a creature's intentions or discern if a creature is lying. That's really cool. Primal warding, set traps made of invisible force. That's cool. Synchronized stealth. Whenever you or your companion takes the hide action, the other can take the hide action as a reaction if they're able to hide. And then additionally, if you take the hide action within 5 feet, you have advantage on the stealth check. That's really cool. Unseen hunters. You can literally just become invisible for 10 minutes. You can't be tracked by non-magical means unless you choose to leave a trail. And you can end the invisibility on yourself as a bonus action. Dank. Super dank. Wait, where's the creature? Oh, maybe the spider. Oh, that's tight. Super cool. Love that a lot. All right. That's it for me. 5 out of 5. This thing is really cool. I legitimately, like, I would be excited to run this tomorrow if I could. And now I'm going to be thinking up. I'm going to take a more look and maybe build out. Oh, I did want to show. Included is a character sheet of the Beastheart, which is really cool. Let me pull it up. Super, super cool. And it includes like all the stuff that you need for like your primal exploits, includes things for, you know, obviously like your companion. Yeah, companion gets your own sheet. Super cool. Love that. Cool. Awesome. All right. Anyway, just wanted to say that is included in the purchase when you get it. So there's a color version of the PDF, a grayscale version of the PDF for printer friendly if you're printing it out yourself, since this I believe it's a digital only product. And then the character sheet, which is fillable digitally, or you can just print out and use it on your stuff at home. So incredibly cool. Link is down in the description of this video. MCDM.com. Go to the shop. It's $15. Absolutely well worth the money if you play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Homebrew is allowed. This looks incredibly. The playtesting list of folks that worked on it was huge. MCDM does incredible work. This isn't just someone on the, on a subreddit releasing something that is pure paper theory. Matt Colville and his team does an incredible job. So just, know this is good stuff that you want to play at your table if it fits thematically with your campaign. And I hope that if you get this and from watching my video and you enjoy playing it or think it's great, I hope you reach out to Matt and the MCDM team letting him know. I was like, hey, this guy Zach made a video about this. I wouldn't have known about it, but he showed it off and it looked really cool. I purchased it and had a great time with my gaming group this weekend. I would love that. They would love that. Let me know. I am at @ZachHall_ on Twitter. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be, whenever I can, I like making videos for y'all. I like this format. But I hope you enjoy. And anyway, I hope you have a great day. Toodles.